Welcome back to our video lecture series on the history of education. Today's lecture, Lecture 9, we explore the life and legacy of a pioneer in American education, Horace Mann. Widely honored as the father of the American public school system, let's begin with his early life. Horace Mann was born on May 4, 1796, in Franklin, Massachusetts. His childhood was marked by hardship and poverty. Growing up on a family farm, Mann had access to only about 3 months of schooling, each year spending the rest of his time working. Despite this limited formal education, he showed a deep thirst for learning from a young age. Education at Brown University through private tutoring and self-discipline. Mann eventually qualified for the sophomore class at Brown University. He graduated in 1819, and soon after, he studied law and was admitted to the Massachusetts bar in 1823. But it was not long before he turned from law to public service and eventually to education. Political career from 1827 to 1848. Horace Mann had a brilliant political career. He served as a state representative and then as a state senator in the Massachusetts legislature. During this time, he contributed to various reforms, including advocating for the establishment of a state mental hospital in Worcester. This experience helped shape his vision of human dignity and social responsibility, values he would later apply to education. Secretary of the Massachusetts State Board of Education, a turning point came in 1837, when Horace Mann accepted the position of first Secretary of the State Board of Education in Massachusetts. This marked the beginning of his most impactful work. At the time, public education in Massachusetts was in disarray. There was poor teaching, outdated materials, little supervision, and irregular attendance. Mann believed that education was the great equalizer, a tool to uplift all children, regardless of their background. Let's now highlight some of his major contributions during this time. Campaigning for education, Mann became a tireless advocate for education. He traveled across the state, gave speeches, and wrote extensively to raise public awareness. His efforts helped win the support of citizens, legislators, and educators. As a result, schools across Massachusetts began to improve in teaching quality, facilities, in student engagement, establishment of teacher training schools, normal schools in 1839. Mann founded the first normal school for teachers in Lexington, Massachusetts. These schools were designed to train teachers in the art of teaching, including school management, ethics, and classroom strategies. He believed that a well-trained teacher could transform lives. By 1860, 12 such schools were established in the U.S. His efforts laid the foundation for modern teacher education programs and pedagogical research, establishing school district libraries. Another remarkable achievement was his push for free district school libraries. Mann believed that access to books was essential to both students and communities. These libraries helped cultivate a culture of lifelong learning and literacy. Financial support for public education. Mann understood that meaningful reform needed financial investment. Through his efforts, teacher salaries were doubled, new secondary schools were built, and textbooks and equipment were improved. He also worked to ensure state aid to education was increased, ensuring that education was not just a privilege for the wealthy, but a right for all. The Common School movement and writings. Mann edited the widely read Common School Journal and wrote 12 influential annual reports. These writings promoted the idea of common schools, public schools funded by taxes. It's open to all children regardless of class, gender, or ethnicity. He believed schools should help mold moral citizens, teach democratic values, and reduce social inequality. His vision was to build a strong nation through universal public education. Final years in 1848. Mann resigned from his role as education secretary and was elected to the U.S. Congress. He later became the U.S. president of Antioch College in Ohio in 1853, a coeducational and non-sectarian institution. At Antioch, he tried to implement his ideals in higher education. Sadly, the stress of leading the college and fundraising weakened his health. He passed away on August 2, 1859. One of his most famous quotes, and a fitting end to his life story, is, "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity." Conclusion. Horace Mann's vision of free, universal Non-sectarian public education helped shape the modern American school system. His legacy lives on in every public school, every trained teacher, and every child who gets a fair shot at learning. Thank you for joining this lecture on Horace Mann. In our next session, we'll continue to explore the pioneers who transformed education into what it is today. Until then, keep learning, keep teaching, and keep inspiring. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more educational content.